fascinated by many things: pasta recipes, aquariums, and video game Easter eggs, just to give some examples. But few things in this life rarely get my wheels spinning like some good old-fashioned Hollywood production drama, and Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles are the gift that keeps on giving. Let's talk about what's going on with everyone's favorite aesthetically pleasing train wreck, Don't Worry Darling.
Welcome to the Victory Project.
We're all here because we believe in the mission.
What are we doing?
Changing the world.
What are we doing?
Changing the world.
That's right.
Don't Worry Darling is the second film from actress Olivia Wilde, who received favorable reviews back in 2019 for her directorial debut of Booksmart, a coming-of-age comedy starring Beanie Feldstein, who is also at the center of another fascinating production drama rabbit hole at the moment. Instead of a comedy this time around, Wilde is trying her hand at a psychological thriller. The film doesn't release here in the US until September 23rd, but the general premise is that a seemingly happy 1950s couple are enjoying their suburban life in a town called Victory, California, but the town itself may not be what it seems. My guess is that it's going to be some sort of cross between The Truman Show and Stepford Wives, but that remains to be seen. The film was first announced back in 2019 and made headlines due to a bidding war among 18 studios, and New Line ended up acquiring the project because they reportedly promised Olivia a theatrical release in writing. At the time, she was set to both direct and act in the film. Fast forward to 2020, and the star-studded cast for this behemoth is announced. Shia LaBeouf is cast as our leading man, with Chris Pine cast in a major supporting role. As for the ladies, Florence Pugh was actually announced as the main female role, Alice, while Olivia assumed the role of Alice's best friend, Bunny. Olivia says that this change was made because she wanted a younger couple at the center of the film. In the fall of that same year, it was announced that Shia LaBeouf had exited the film due to a scheduling conflict, which seems pretty normal all things considered, but we'll come back to this later. Following Shia's departure, Harry Styles of One Direction fame takes over the leading man role. Wilde said during one of the interviews that she had been wanting to cast Harry from the beginning, but his touring schedule had too much conflict with production. And this is probably where the drama surrounding this film should have stopped, but oh boy, it just keeps on going. In December of 2020, Olivia Wilde confirms that Shia did not leave the project due to scheduling conflicts, but rather that he was fired. This confirmation came out around the same time that singer FKA Twigs filed a civil lawsuit against him, accusing him of sexual battery, assault, and inflicting emotional abuse. Olivia ultimately comes out and says that Shia was fired because he was both combative on set and was clashing with both herself and other members of the cast, including Florence. Shia denies these allegations and claims that he has proof to confirm that this wasn't the case, but that revelation does not come until later in the timeline, and we're doing this chronologically for the sake of clarity. We'll get there, I promise. This brings us to January of 2021, where Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles are seen holding hands. The internet goes absolutely feral as rumors swirl regarding their relationship and her subsequent divorce from actor and everyone's favorite hot dad, Jason Sudeikis. I feel like this is a good time to expose my bias here. As a long-time Jason Sudeikis simp, it is 100% a hill that I am willing to die on. Anyway, filming wraps in February of 2021, and things go quiet until Olivia, who is now being profiled in Vogue, makes a comment about the importance of sex in the film, and how it was important to her to highlight female pleasure. This conversation comes about after the writer of this Vogue profile watches a scene of Harry Styles' character eating out Florence Pugh. So naturally, between rumors of Olivia's relationship with Harry and a confirmation that this scene is a thing that exists, the art of the film is sort of fading into the background of the conversation, and again, this is one of those keep in mind for later type things. Okay, April of 2022, Olivia attends Cinemacon in Las Vegas to promote the film and share the premiere of its first trailer, and then this happens.
Not just the material, tangible things like a beautiful house and perfect weather and gorgeous cars. This is for me, right now. This is very mysterious. I'm gonna open it now because it feels like it's timely. Is it a script? Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you.
That envelope contains custody papers concerning Jason and Olivia's kids. A rep for Jason Sudeikis later confirmed that he did not know that this is where the custody papers would be served, but if that doesn't prove that this movie is cursed, I don't know what does. Okay, August 2022. The film is barreling its way toward theaters whether we like it or not. Florence does a magazine interview where she talks about said cunnilingus with Harry Styles and seems kind of over it. In the interview, she says, quote, "When it's reduced to your sex scenes or to watch the most famous man in the world go down on someone, it's not why we do it. It's not why I'm in this industry. Obviously, the nature of hiring the most famous pop star in the world, you're going to have conversations like that. That's just not what I'm going to be discussing because this movie is bigger and better than that, and the people who made it are bigger and better than that." Of course, this statement operates in direct contrast to the interview Olivia did just a few months prior, highlighting and celebrating the fact that female pleasure is such an integral aspect of the film. Which, in my opinion, is a weird statement to make to begin with because I don't think eating pussy is as revolutionary as Olivia is making it out to be here, but I digress. So Florence seems to be distancing herself from the production over the course of this whole month, making very little public comment about its release or engaging with Olivia or the rest of the cast, and things go from bad to worse when Shia LaBeouf comes back into the picture with a bombshell on August 26th, writing that he wasn't actually fired from the film, he quit due to a lack of rehearsal time. Shia provides Variety with what he claims is proof of these conversations with Olivia, including a number of emails and texts, and a video where she can reportedly be heard saying, "I feel like I'm not ready to give up on this yet, and I am too heartbroken and I want to figure this out. You know, I think this might be a bit of a wake-up call for Miss Flo, and I want to know if you're open to giving this a shot with me, with us. If she really commits, if she really puts her mind and heart into it at this point, and if you guys can make peace, and I respect your point of view, I respect hers, but if you guys can do it, what do you think? Is there hope? Will you let me know?" Which is once again a very stark contrast to her claims that she fired him to protect the cast from his combative energy, Florence included. I also want to make it really clear here that I am not in any way defending Shia LaBeouf, but wow, just not a good look for everybody involved. Okay, honorable mentions before we get to the last bit of drama here. Harry Styles not publicly claiming Olivia after all of this, the rumor that she was pregnant with his baby at one point, and Shia lying about being abused by his father, which inspired his film Honey Boy. God, I hate rich people. And that brings us to September 5th, 2022. Olivia Wilde, Harry Styles, Gemma Chan, and Chris Pine are all attending a press conference panel ahead of the red carpet and premiere of the film at the Venice International Film Festival. Florence is notably not in attendance. When asked about this and the rumored fallout between the two, Olivia says this.
Florence is a force. And we are so grateful that she's able to make it tonight, despite being in production on Dune. I know as a director how disruptive it is to lose an actor even for a day, so I'm very grateful to her, grateful to Denis Villeneuve for helping us, and we're really thrilled we'll get to celebrate her work tonight. I can't say enough how honored I am to have her as our lead. She's amazing in the film. And as for all the endless tabloid gossip and all the noise out there, I mean, the internet feeds itself. I don't feel the need to contribute. I think it's sufficiently well-nourished.
And then, Miss Flo is seen in Venice 10 minutes after the press conference ends. So yeah, that's a summation of all of the Don't Worry Darling drama thus far. I hope this was helpful to you, and as far as my own analysis, I don't think there's much I can say beyond famous people are nuts, and not everything needs to be laid out in a Vogue article. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.